What's up, guys? ArtistVersion1 here, and welcome back to another edition of the Three-Way Dance Wrestling Podcast. This week, we are not the Three-Way Dance because it is just two of us, and the streak is dead. Shelby. Hey, Shub's not here this week, but joining me as always is it's his house in the middle of our street, Nick.
Our house. I forget the fucking lyrics. It's madness. What's up, everybody?
At first, Shelby was going to be here. We took the last 2 weeks off because, Princess Shelby needed shit to do. So we were going to come back this weekend. Yesterday, or 2 days ago, Shelby was just like, I can't make it. I'm going to the CFL. And we're just like, what the fuck? Really? You're going to go see fake football? Like, really?
He forgot about he had put in for tickets. It's like a lottery system with the CFL. You can't just buy tickets all the time. There's some games that you have to actually apply to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Like Saturday Night Live style. It's kind of fucking stupid, but
okay.
Apparently that's the deal there. He forgot he applied for tickets, and then he got tickets and was like, oh, I can't do it.
Well, I guess since it's a lottery, But we have a stacked show here for you tonight. Tons of news. We'll probably spend a lot of time on news. So if you want to hear our thoughts and opinions on some of the news topics that have happened in the last 2 weeks, fucking buckle your seatbelt because we're going to talk about them. Plus, we're going to play It Came From eBay still. We're going to, still do that except this time, instead of Nick getting the point, if Nick can't, if Shelby can't figure out the point, then it's going to be the opposite. If Nick can't figure it out, then Shelby gets a point. And of course, 3-word dance. And then we are going to review one of the most infamous wrestling pay-per-views of all time, Heroes of Wrestling. Yes, that Jake Roberts. There's more to that fucking pay-per-view than that Jake Roberts promo. And we're going to talk about it here. And a sports solicit of the week and vintage pick of the week. I mean, there's so much to get to, so let's hop right into it. Let's start with the softcore stuff first. Let's start with the mediocre shit before we talk about the big stuff here. And the first one I want to point out is PG. WWE has been PG ever since Linda McMahon ran for Senate. Well, it looks like the PG era is dead. WWE has officially changed their rating back for the first time in 9-10 years, something like that, to TV 14. So people are now expecting, the first thing I saw, of course, somebody was going to say it, the first thing I saw, Attitude Era is back.
No, it's not that Attitude's back. It's just that they're, you might not hear cuss words bleeped out, and you might see a little bit more, violence.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be, here's HLA and bra and panties and everything else.
I don't know. If you go to somebody like Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch and said, okay, you're going to do a bra and panties match on Monday, there'd be even more walkouts.
Yep.
They're like, excuse me? We did not work our ass off.
I'm sorry. Yeah. How many of those people that wanted to see that are not here anymore?
I know.
No.
We did not work our ass off to main event at WrestleMania just to go on Raw and have a bra and panties match because we're TV 14. But, I mean, I am excited for it. I'm kind of glad the PG thing's dead because there were certain things that they couldn't do because of the TV PG, and I always thought that was kind of stupid. So.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So TV 14 is out. Hey, speaking of out, I still got to do the segues.
TV PG is out.
Oh, yeah, PG.
TV 14 in.
Yeah, fucked up my own segue. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. I'm a little rusty. But Max Dupree, the former LA Knight, debuted on SmackDown, I think a couple weeks after WrestleMania or something like that. Anyway, teasing maximum male models. And then he finally debuted his first male models, that Mace, a.k.a. now Mace. And then Mansoor, now Mansoir. And it was one of those things, it's so ridiculous that we love it. That's how I've because it was all over my news feed when it debuted. I was just like, okay, this is stupid, but it was all over my news feed. Like, oh my God, you got to see this, But now the leader, Max Dupree, is out of his own goddamn group. Because
Because
apparently,
Vince didn't like him.
yeah, apparently he was rubbing people the wrong way. And Vince didn't like him. But here's the thing now. Well, we'll get to that in a minute, but Vince is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So why not bring him back?
I can only assume it means that we'll get LA Knight or Eli Drake in NXT again.
Yeah, because he was there for the black and gold to the transition to 2.0. But, like, if you really look at it, as a whole, LA Knight didn't really spend a lot of time in NXT.
No.
You know, so I wouldn't be mad with another run in NXT for him.
I wouldn't be. Like, I mean, if Apollo and Aziz and whoever else can get another run in NXT, send him back there. Like, let Shawn Michaels take over, make him LA Knight again, or Eli Drake, and just let him be him.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about all the neck breathers and the yes men at this point, or at least most of them, the ones that count. So just let it happen and see what becomes of it.
Mm-hmm. Or, here's a controversial statement. You know what? I'll save that when we talk about Vince. I'll save that. But speaking of people being out, Tully Blanchard looks like he is out of AEW and ROH. You might have the scoop on this one. I just read the headline. But do you know why he is out? Is it a contract thing? Did he just say fuck it?
All I've read is that because he's very, I guess he's religious, and so he went to a ministerial retreat the day before Death Before Dishonor, or whatever that last pay-per-view was.
Yeah.
And wasn't able to make the flight or miss the flight or something. I don't know, but he put the ministerial stuff first, which, I mean, if you're in that position, I could see why you would.
Yeah.
But it kind of speaks to what guys like Joey Janela or Marco Stunt are saying, and about that Tony Khan just doesn't communicate, and then when it really counts, you end up fucked because of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's what I read, is that he missed the commitment due to a previously scheduled, before there was even talk of another ROH pay-per-view after the buyout. It was the ministerial thing.
So it looks like Tully Blanchard no longer out, and it became, instead of Tully Blanchard Enterprises, Prince Nana returned to ROH and apparently, quote unquote, bought the Enterprises and renamed it the Embassy. So
the new incarnation of the Embassy.
Yeah.
Which will apparently not include Jonathan Gresham, because
hey, speaking of Jonathan Gresham,
yeah.
Wasn't my next story, but since you gave me that setup. But speaking of Jonathan Gresham, yeah, it looks like as quickly as he signed the dotted line with his ROH/AEW, whatever one he was assigned to, he wants out. He is not very happy with said communication that Nick previously said with Nick Khan, to the point where apparently
Tony Khan.
Tony Khan, my bad. He is not happy with said communication with Tony Khan, to where he wanted to have a little sit down with him at ROH Death Before Dishonor. But apparently, while having that sit down, I guess Tony was like, oh, by the way, your world title match is going to be 10 minutes long. And that just set him off
first.
Yeah, I found that weird too.
Yep.
I can see why they main evented with Briscoes and FTR. I can see why they went that route, but I didn't get why they opened with the world title match. At least open with the 6-man title match.
Yeah, Claudio and Gresham could have been the co-main event. I get why they went with FTR and the Briscoes for the main event. But you could have made that the co-main event, not the first match.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand why Gresham cussed him out, because it's you didn't contact me for weeks. Then you contact me, set up this bullshit stable. I turn on Lee Moriarty and then I lose. So fuck you. It just is. The booking logic of AEW lately, or Ring of Honor, or AEW, Ring of, whatever you want to say, Tony Khan's wrestling entities, the booking logic has been fucking kind of all over the place. The rankings don't matter. They let Jungle Boy have a microphone, which I'm still not sure if that was a good idea last night, but we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, speaking of which, that's something that I like Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, but they're just like, okay, Christian Cage turns on Jungle Boy, which I mean, fucking Ray Charles could have saw that one coming.
Mm-hmm.
Then Luchasaurus is like, I'm gonna stand up for Jungle Boy. Christian Cage is like, oh yeah, remember what I did to Marco Stunt? And Luchasaurus is like, fuck, all right. So then he joins with Christian Cage for 2 weeks, and then Jungle Boy comes back, and Luchasaurus is like, all right, I'm with you again.
Like, it's fucking stupid. It's like it doesn't make why do this? Like, who is Luchasaurus really with? Jungle Boy sounds like a jackass on the mic still. Like, they shouldn't have given him a microphone.
It's either like they booked themselves into some weird corner where they're just like, all right, we couldn't turn Luchasaurus heel, or it's like a Enzo Big Cass thing where it's just, you know, when Cass came out, it was just like, hey, I'm sorry, you're still my brother, and they're like, yeah, and then he fucking beats the shit out of him again.
Yep.
You know, and that part's to come. You know,
maybe it's they're waiting for the on-air stuff, and Christian will spill some secrets about Jungle Boy's disdain for Luchasaurus, and then Luchasaurus turns and he's back with Great because he's still with the black mask.
Yeah.
He didn't have the fucking green and like. This is fucked up booking. It doesn't. I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. It's like how you book an FTW title match with Ricky Starks and Danhausen. Ricky Starks destroys Danhausen. He says he wants another match. Out comes fucking Hook. Hook, we're still supposed to consider a face. Beats Starks, fist bump, leaves, Hobbs turns. Taz is still Hook's dad. Hook doesn't come back. It's all very confusing. Well, I like Ricky Starks as a face, but
my problem with that whole scenario just gave it just like, why not just book Starks versus Hook from the beginning if you were just gonna kill Danhausen?
No. Well, I mean, they killed Danhausen before anyway.
Well, the Tony Nese thing, I can kind of like, okay, I see where they were going with that. I can understand killing them there. You know, at least that made sense because they were setting up for something bigger. But this made no goddamn sense. At least, like, I know Hook doesn't need it, but at least have, like, Danhausen, like, distract Starks or some shit. Like, at least make it a reason as to why he got destroyed like that. It was just like, okay, Danhausen wants a match. Next week. Okay, fuck, next week. And then Starks kills him, and it's just like, I can go for another match. And Hook comes out. Why not just destroy him last week? And he's like, oh, I could use another match. Then Hook comes out. Oh, next week. And then Hook just destroys him.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, Will, go suck your fat ass. I don't know. That's just me.
Well, but it's like that's what they said to Will Hobbs, too. Hey, Will Hobbs, go suck your fat ass. We're going to have you turn on your tag team partner. And you're probably going to be left without a manager, too, because Taz is probably going to manage Hook. So it just doesn't... Somebody fucked up big time there.
I don't know. A lot of messed up trios in the AEW right now. Hey, speaking of trios. AEW announcing another new title to AEW. And if the segue didn't give it away, I'll tell you. It is the AEW Trios titles, which, you know, when I used to, you know, back when I used to find websites about the histories of wrestling, I mean, like old, like, Thunders that I've never seen. I read the results of Thunders and like old titles that I've never heard of and read. The ones that used to really stick out to me were like the 6-man titles, because I'm just like, even though I didn't see those matches, I'm like, were trios titles or the 6-man title, were they really that fucking necessary? I never really saw the point of them. Even in Lucha Underground, as much as I sing the praises of fucking Lucha Underground, I never really saw the point of trios titles.
Well, when all the trios have a tag team within, it adds even more to the fact there's no point. Like, for example, the Death Triangle. Mm-hmm. You have the Lucha Brothers within. You have, like, when SCU was still a thing, you still had Daniels and Kazarian within the Elite, the Young Bucks, Undisputed, whatever they're going to call it. You have Red Dragon. If you put CM Punk with FTR, you still have FTR. So what's the need for a trios belt? Unless you give it to somebody like the Gun Club and let them run with it for a year or two or however long it takes to build up another 3-man team. Like, even best friends, there are only 2 of them. And then you have Orange Cassidy, who occasionally mingles in, but it's Orange Cassidy and the best friends. Or Roppongi Vice and Orange Cassidy, or Roppongi Vice and Chuck Taylor. It's
I
never...
don't get how Rocky Romero is not part of the fucking best friends.
Oh, who fucking knows, man? I don't... The Dark Order's only fucking 4 dudes now, or 5, or they fucked that up.
Oh,
I mean, they fucked it up a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Continued it after Brody died, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, there's not enough. A trios title only makes sense if you have enough trios that have won enough matches as a trio and not as a tag team of the trio, or fucking we're going to pick 2 of 5 or whatever. Like, you have to have legitimized trios, and they haven't done it.
Yeah. Agreed. Before we get to the big story, did I miss anything?
Let me run down what I have. Most of it ties into this. Bryan Danielson being back, loses to Daniel Garcia, which is fucking retarded.
Well, I thought that was pretty good to put over, because
although it's kind of dumb booking, but it's very good that he put over Garcia because it means that he's not worried about the wins and loss.
Because that was a situation where, like, I was reading the results, and sometimes when I read results and I see shit like, just for example's sake, like Roman Reigns versus Cedric Alexander, I'm like, when I see something like that, I'm like, oh gee, I wonder who wins. So when I read that last night, Bryan Danielson versus Daniel Garcia, I was like, oh boy, I wonder who wins. And then when I read Daniel Garcia, I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah. Well, so the only other thing I think that really is worth mentioning, like, is anything else is really just kind of redundant. Like, we don't care that 2 Dimes signed a basic AEW tiered contract. He can show up anywhere anyway. CM Punk's still hurt. Big deal. Adam Cole's coming back. Kenny Omega coming back.
You heard Athena, aka Ember Moon. You heard her. Oh no, not Athena. I'm sorry, Shotzi Blackheart. You heard her bitch about 2 Dimes, right?
Yeah. But I mean, the only other thing that we should bring up before we get to the main thing, Riddle versus Seth Rollins is no longer on for SummerSlam this Saturday.
Yeah,
that's a storyline injury.
Yeah, they said it was an injury. Now it's due to the backstage reason is because of creative reshuffling is the term they used.
So Triple H isn't ready to see Riddle versus Rollins yet, basically.
And then this is the new obsession with the internet wrestling community, is that now people are just like, oh, what if the Fiend returns at SummerSlam? I'm like, what is y'all's obsession with the Fiend coming back?
If anything, Seth Rollins' opponent, while we all expect it to be Edge, it's going to be somebody like a Gargano or Owens, Styles, somebody who... Gargano, I think, would be the only one that would be unexpected unless somehow MJF signed, even though he's still under contract with AEW. Like, I mean, there's no... I think it's more likely it's similar to what they did with NXT TakeOver Toronto 2, where Riddle and Dane were having the issue, but they didn't book a match for it. Riddle just came out instead, called out Dane, they had a brawl, here's the next match. If they're building Riddle versus Rollins for Clash at the Castle anyway, Orton's not ready to come back that we know of. It wouldn't make sense for Edge to get involved with Rollins and Riddle, especially because the Mysterios versus the Judgment Day at Survivor Series is no DQ, so that would be where you would expect Edge to show up.
Yep.
So it's like there's almost nobody that they could put against Rollins that it would make sense storyline-wise or as a random challenge. I just don't know where they go from here. Apparently Rollins is going to be still on the card, but I just don't.
I have 3 letters not RKO, that could face Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. You ready? Boo.
Boo.
Veer.
Veer?
Yeah.
See, if they had to build Veer better, I could see it.
They had the opportunity to make him like a huge face because everybody was in on the joke.
Yep.
They're just like, oh god, he's gonna debut, ha 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 ha. Then when they actually put a date on it, they're like, is it really gonna happen? They could have made him a huge face, and and Vince went the other way with it. And I was just like, dude, you had it right there, man.
I just like they can't, if they go the open challenge route the same way, or like the I'll pick your opponent route the same way they did for WrestleMania. They have to have a surprise level that equates to a Cody Rhodes, which I don't think they got.
Yeah.
Even Johnny Gargano, I don't think would be like the fucking roof explodes and everybody's psyched. Like, Bray Wyatt's definitely not going to do that. Gargano's not going to do that.
I think Gargano
Goldberg
could
won't do that.
I think Gargano could do. I think you'd come close.
Maybe he'd come close, but that depends also upon like how many people can like think back to the history, like in Gargano and NXT. And Gargano was one of Triple H's guys, so was Rollins. I don't know. Or they just have Riddle being like, oh, I can still compete, and Rollins is like, no, you can't. And then they have a brawl through the crowd, and it sets up the match for Clash at the Castle. There's supposed to be a major surprise for SummerSlam, so it's like, well, what could possibly be a major surprise at this point? We all know Edge is coming back. We all know fucking Cody's gonna be back ahead of schedule, but we're assuming the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose Theory could cash in, but that would just fucking, I don't know how I would react to that if Theory cashed in successfully with Clash of the Castle. It would be better if they waited for the cash in until Drew beats Roman at Clash of the Castle, and then Theory's just like, fuck you.
I think he's going to cash in at SummerSlam, but he's going to be unsuccessful.
I could see that too.
You know, like he'll come down like after the last man standing match. Whoever wins, I don't give a fuck who really. Well, I kind of care if Brock wins again. We don't need another Brock reign. But considering he walked out with our next story, I don't see him winning. But he comes out and cashes, thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking win this shit, and then Reigns pulls a fast one on him.
What would be interesting is if he cashes in during Last Man Standing, as he knows they're both out, makes it a triple threat Last Man Standing, and just stands there looking at them. He's done nothing. Cashes in, referee counts to 10, and he's just like, oh, hey, I'm the champ. It would piss a lot of people off. But he doesn't. He looks even more like a heel. You can send Roman off to Hollywood for however long and bring him back as a face, and then you can have Lesnar fade away.
But then where do you go? But then where do you go from there?
I don't know.
Let's say that happens, and Theory becomes the new fucking Universal Undisputed Lightweight whatever champion. Where do you go from there? You booked yourself into a corner.
Well, there's almost no way they don't book themselves into a corner, because even if, like, let's say, for example, Roman retains, who do you have left? Because Riddle can't challenge, Orton's out, Cody's out, Edge isn't going to challenge yet, Styles isn't going to challenge yet, so that leaves you with...
I have 3 letters for you. Boo.
Well, it wouldn't be Veer, it would probably be Seth Rollins, but even then, if you have Seth Rollins...
Drew McIntyre.
Well, okay, so Drew... But that's what I'm saying. Like, it would be better to hold off the cash in. If you're gonna have Theory cash in now, hold it off till Clash. Drew beats Roman and Clash at the Castle. Theory cashes in. You have Drew chase the title. I think ultimately, in the best case scenario, though, is you have Roman retain all the way up till WrestleMania. Cody wins the Rumble, challenges Roman. Then Theory cashes in right after Cody is crowned champion and takes the belt. Now you have Cody versus Theory running. Theory stole Cody's moment of glory, moment of triumph, moment for his daddy. He's doing it for his daddy, or however you want to play it. Like, it just, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. All right, let's address the elephant in the room here, and that is over the past, we've mentioned in previous episodes that Vince was being investigated for giving away at the very least $3 million, but at the most, like what, 12?
14.6
in hush money to former employees and WWE divas, former WWE divas, I should say. For I guess the PG term to say it is sexual favors. But here at the three-way dance, we're not really PG, so for fucking blowjobs, that is what we'll say. So the news came out in the past 2 weeks that Vince McMahon suddenly retired from the WWE, sending shockwaves through the wrestling world, and boy, a lot of stuff has changed already. Not to the product itself, which, I mean, Tony Khan has made a good point. He did say, like, well, it's not magically going to change because Vince is gone, which I think is a fair point. But I think people are expecting this magical change overnight. I think it's going to take time. But yeah, Vince at 77 years old has retired from WWE. I think he's no longer on the board of directors, obviously. I don't think he's no longer in creative. Triple H went from heart attack to, let me get back in the door and everything, to back at NXT, to
EVP of Talent Relations and head of creative.
And now, EVP, now he's back. Now he's at the head of talent creations, whereas Nick Khan, the former, I want to say, COO? No, not COO.
I think he was
CFO.
I think so.
Yeah, Chief Financial Officer. Yeah, he was a CFO. God damn it, Shelby, shut up. Shelby is texting us during the fucking football game right now.
Damn it, Shelby.
I know, you could have just been on, fucker.
Trying to record.
I know, right? See, you made me lose my fucking train of thought, you fucker. Oh, yeah, so Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon are now co-CEOs of World Wrestling Entertainment. John Laurinaitis, who was also being investigated for said blowjobs, is now out of the company altogether. I think that's the gist of it, but there is some more that I'm pretty sure Nick has the better details of. Go ahead.
Well, okay, so the hush money that's been paid out, apparently at first, as reported by the Wall Street Journal, it was Vince McMahon's personal dollars. It wasn't paid out of WWE funding or WWE money, but it has since come out that as a result of a total of 14.6 million that was paid out, WWE now needs to redo financial reports dating back to the last quarter of 2019 up to the first quarter of 2022, or before the allegations came out. So basically, they have to show why this money is somehow missing and not reported. John Laurinaitis is now gone as EVP. Obviously, it was. I don't know. Like, to try and make sense of it all. Like,
can you imagine putting that on a fucking financial report? Like, okay, we've made this much on WWE Shop. We've made this much on home video. We've made this much in blowjobs. We like what?
Wait, blowjobs?
Yeah, what was that last one?
Mr. McMahon? Can you speak to this? Well, pal, I asked that young female employee that came in for talent, something or other. Whatever it was, I asked her for some favors, and we gave her a promotion. or what? It just is so.
We're just gonna hide this on the report. We'll deal with it later.
Yeah, like, I mean, let's just underlie this and we'll deal with it later, even though we're a publicly traded company. Like, you now have 10 legal firms, including the United States Security and, like, whatever that is, Council. You have, like, he's up for embezzlement now and
The federal government
misleading
is actually
shareholders.
looking in on this now.
Like, and now I guess it's being reported too, because Stephanie is now chairwoman of the board.
Yep.
And co-CEO with Nick Khan. Triple H is the VP of Talent Relations as well as the head of creative. They wouldn't obviously let Vince go back on TV because they had him retire via tweet/press release. So he's on TV jumping off the ring straps and everybody's making memes, and it's like, no, you're done, pal. Like, it's been suggested that with the upcoming HBO Real Sports report on what's going on with Vince McMahon, that WWE got wind of it and forced Vince McMahon to retire before this info could come out.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody like a CM Punk who seems to be bitter and is like, oh, Vince is still pulling the strings. They complained about Sasha and Naomi. Well, first of all, pal, walking out and retiring are two completely different things. Second of all, you don't get to comment on somebody retiring or somebody leaving the business because you left, and the only reason you came back was because of money, and now you look like a jackass because you shattered your foot by jumping into the fucking crowd, you fucking asshole.
And I was going to say earlier when we were talking about LA Knight going back to NXT, I'm going to make a very controversial statement here, and that is since NXT is 2.0 now, NXT 2.0, Triple H is head of creative. I assume that's for the main roster, you know, Raw, SmackDown. Mm-hmm. Why not give Bruce NXT?
Because Sean has NXT.
Oh, is he head of creative there?
Sean is the head of creative in NXT, so Bruce is kind of basically executive producer, but he doesn't have a say.
Oh, okay.
And well, Kevin Dunn is another one that they're basically, from what I'm reading, is that Stephanie McMahon and Kevin Dunn don't like each other.
Good.
And that Kevin Dunn is just going to be phased out. They're just going to continually downgrade his duties to the point where it's like, there's really no need for you to be here anymore.
Yeah, because he was only there because he saved Vince's dad's tapes or whatever. So, and Vince was only keeping him on. Yeah. Which, I mean, apparently I read recently an interview with Freddie Prinze Jr., who does his Wrestling with Freddie podcast, you know, competition. Because, you know, we're up there so high in competition. You know, when you look at the wrestling podcast, you see Jim Cornette and fucking Bruce Pritchard, and you see us.
Hey, everybody's got to start somewhere, man.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's only taken us 65 episodes, but whatever.
At least it's not 130.
Yeah, not yet. Anyway, we're gonna be on 130, and there's gonna be like 5 views, and we're like, please watch. No, that's when I'll call the fucking plug there. But yeah, Freddie Prinze Jr. was mentioning that apparently Kevin Dunn would have a word on creative. And one of the things was that somebody in the writer's room would pitch at least 6 weeks of television. And they would pitch it hard. And all of a sudden, Kevin Dunn would just be like, well, you can't do that because she's not even pretty. And then there went 6 weeks of television right there.
Yep.
You know?
Is that Bucky Beaver fucking jackass can't fix his fucking teeth?
Oh, that kind of sounds like me in a fucking pitch meeting, though. Well, we're gonna let go of Mercedes Martinez. We're gonna fire her. I'm like, well, you can't fire her. Why? Look at that ass. Go home, Will.
Or like, we're gonna downgrade Dustin Rhodes on the card. Okay, but you need to make Goldust the WWE champion. I'm sorry, what? Okay, but Disco Drew.
Disco Drew. What the hell is Disco Drew? Well, we take Drew McIntyre and we make him Disco Stew from The Simpsons, but he's Disco Drew. Go home, Will.
No hush money for you, pal.
No hush money for you. Fine, I'll take my ideas to fucking Tony Khan. Hey, Tony, how does Rape Master Sammy go home, Will? All right, fine.
Go home, Will.
He didn't let me finish the idea. The fucking had to go home. But the bigger question, here's the weird thing about this whole, going back, let's get back on topic, the Vince thing. Here's the weird thing about Vince, take away the blowjobs, all that shit. Here's the weirdest thing about it, in my opinion, is that as long as I could remember watching wrestling, Vince McMahon has owned it. And now, here it is, like fucking 30 some odd years later, and now Vince is not in charge of it. So like, it's like really weird for me.
Yep.
That's the weird thing about it. I mean, yeah, we've all had to fuck Vince, and Vince needs to quit talk and everything like that. We've all had it. We've all had that thought and everything. Well, now here it fucking is.
Yep.
It's like one of those things where you're dating that girl for so long and you're just like, fuck, we need to get married. We need to get married. We need to get married. And fuck, she finally says, yes, let's get married. And you're like, fuck, I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, and that's how it is. You're like, fuck, Vince, you need to retire. Fucking retire. And he's like, fine, I will. And you're like, fuck, I don't know if I can do this. And that's how I feel, because it's just so weird.
Oh, shit. Like, what did we do?
Yeah, it'd been one thing if Vince was like running WWE for like 3 years, and all of a sudden he's like, I'm out of here. And we're like, okay, fine, whatever, fuck. Or like Impact.
4 years, and then because of a couple blowies that you paid some people off and you fucked up like your financial reports because you're 77.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, fuck. Well, I'm going to retire now. And it's like,
yeah,
okay, but I just had heart issues. My wife just took leave of absence.
Ted Turner's billions of dollars couldn't stop Vince. Fucking the steroid trial couldn't stop Vince. Fucking Tony Khan's money couldn't stop Vince, but a fucking blowjob did.
A pandemic couldn't stop Vince.
Oh yeah, the pandemic couldn't do it.
Blowjob.
Blowjob. Well, Bill Clinton's looking at it somewhere like, ha ha ha.
And I did have sex with that woman.
And I got away with it too. Unlike you. But yeah, that's like the weirdest thing about the whole Vince thing. Fuck the blowjobs. I mean, that's weird considering you're married, but whatever. But like, yeah, that's just the weirdest thing. It's weird that like, here it is, 2022, and Vince McMahon no longer in the WWE. Who would have ever known that Vince McMahon future endeavored himself? That's how he should have ended that fucking press release. Is that I wish myself the best in my future endeavors. Like he had the perfect opportunity to do that, and he didn't do it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm 77. Oh my God, I'm that old. And it just said that, thank you, WWE, but I wish myself the best in future. That would have been the perfect way to end that fucking press.
It would go perfect with the Mr. McMahon character, too. Like, I'm going to wish myself well. Yeah. All of you.
Like, he future endeavors himself. Like, how poetic would that have been? I would have forgave him for everything if he would have did that.
Well, but like, what? No, see, here's my thing, though. Okay, so he got a couple blowies and paid some people off.
Mm-hmm.
A hell of a lot more people have done a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah. I mean, while I respect what he did in the wrestling ring, Chris Benoit.
Well, yeah.
Fucking who else?
Jimmy Snuka, he helped Carlos.
Jimmy Snuka. And since he admitted to it, Jack Gallagher.
Yep.
Since he admitted to it, El Ligero, he admitted to it. Although I think he just admitted to, yeah, I said some things that she didn't want me to say. I think Jack Gallagher actually did something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think getting a blowjob is probably, but when you're like the head of a multi-million-dollar publicly traded company, plus you're hiding the money that you're giving to them and giving them money to be like, shh, be quiet.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's a little different. I think if you're
kind of bad.
I think if you're Mustafa Ali and you're getting blowjobs from fucking, Alexa Bliss, and you're giving her money to like, hey, hide this from your husband, and I'll hide it from my wife. I think that's a little different.
Yep.
But so yeah. All right. So that was the news this week. Took us 40 minutes. Took me it took shorter than I thought it was gonna be, but
yeah, but I mean it's still 42 minutes, so it's still.
Well, no, we started recording at 40, so we're at 40 minutes recording wise.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not too bad, man.
Yeah. All right, and even though Shelby is not here, we're still going to play our games. It came from eBay, and the 3-word dance, and we're going to start it off with It Came from eBay, but we're going to change up It Came from eBay some since old Shelby's not here. Let me just get why do I always lose the fucking scores to this goddamn game? There it is. There it is. All right. So here's how it's going to work this time. I'm going to give you a list of 3 items. You have to figure out which one is the most expensive of the 3 that I found on eBay. But if you can't figure out which one of the 3 it is, then your opponent, Shelby, who is not here, will get the point for this. That's how we do it when... Yeah, that's how we do it when the other one is not here. Let's find some other stuff here. All right, so the first 3. It is the Undertaker Christmas ornament. This is from the Attitude Era. Because, I mean, when I decorate my Christmas tree, nothing says Christmas like Undertaker. But it just has a nice Undertaker on there, Christmas ornament, still in the package. Is it the 1985 Andre the Giant school folder? This is just a nice picture of Andre the Giant on your school folder. So, okay. Or is it the WCW Nitro Grill t-shirt? This is brand new, still has the tag on it from the infamous Nitro Grill restaurant that was at the casino, the Luxor or the Excalibur? I think it was the Excalibur in Las Vegas. Which one of these 3 are going for the most expensive price on eBay?
The Nitro Grill shirt.
Oh, look at that. You're still getting ahead of Shelby even though he's not here. Because the Nitro Grill t-shirt, believe it or not, is going for the price of $65.
I wouldn't pay it, but I can believe it.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of want to pay it just to have something from there. Like, God, I'd have to go back and find what episode it was. But when we looked at the menu for the Nitro Grill, I would love to have the menu just to have it. Just to have one of those weird things like that. All right. Here we go. So let's go with these 3 right here. Is it the 1992 foam Tatanka Tomahawk? These are the foam things, when foam was all the raves there. These are the ones you saw in the crowd, the kids holding. Is it the 1999 WCW Kevin Nash Frisbee? For those of you who are first time hearing this, if you don't want to sleep tonight, look up this Frisbee.
The Kevin Nash Frisbee stays in the room during sex.
It does.
On the night.
Or is it the Hulk Hogan light switch cover? Are you familiar with what a light switch cover is?
Yep.
Okay. This is brand new, sealed in the package. You put this over your light switch for the people at home. Put this over your light switch, and then on the stomach area, thankfully not the wiener, but on the stomach area is the light switch, and Hulk Hogan's all around it. So which one of these 3 are going for the most expensive price on eBay?
So we have the light switch cover.
The light switch cover,
Tomahawk.
the Nash Frisbee, and the foam Tomahawk.
The foam Tomahawk.
Ooh, point, Shelby.
Damn.
Because it is actually the Hulk Hogan light switch cover going for the price.
Fuck you, Shelby, for missing the show this week.
It's actually
the perfect one. I've been having on every episode. Fuck you.
I know. I'm so glad he doesn't get to say that anymore, though. But for the people listening at home, I did give him a chance. I was like, hey, we can record Wednesday instead. You just have to watch Heroes of Wrestling like really quick. And he's like, no, I got stuff to do. I got to jerk off and everything. I'm like, all right.
He could have watched it really quick and
he could. I don't know, man, because like I watched it. We'll say it there too, but like this show felt like it was fucking 9 hours long. All right, and your final 3 here. Let's find something. Okay. Just shooting around here. Okay, your final 3 are Is it the WWF Battlemania 1992 comic book, issue number 5? This was the last issue of WWF Battlemania. Is it the WWF New York shot glass? This was a shot glass from the famed or infamed WWF New York restaurant. Or is it one single Andre the Giant unsharpened pencil? Which one of these three are going for the most expensive price on eBay?
The single Andre the Giant unsharpened pencil.
Ooh, Shelby, point.
Damn it.
But you're still in the lead, though. You're still in the lead. Because you got that first one. If you wouldn't have got that first one, then I think y'all would have been... Oh, no, he would have been ahead by one.
Damn, Shelby, you suck.
It is actually the WWF Battlemania comic book, issue number 5, the last issue, going for the price of $49.99.
Wow.
Yeah. I forgot to write down who was on the cover, but I want to say Ultimate Warrior was on the cover of that.
Probably.
Yeah. All right, now we're going to move on to the 3-word dance, which should be interesting. This is where we give each other 3 words and that relate to a wrestler, and we have to figure out who we're referring to here. We usually do 3 rounds here. So the first one being, all right, your first one being, the 3 words are dojo, towel, glasses.
Sonny Hunu?
No. I see where you're going with that, though. That was good.
Dojo, towel, glasses.
Really think about it there. Dojo, towel, glasses.
Bubba Dudley?
No, but I'll say, yeah, you're in the ballpark with that.
Devon Dudley.
No. No Dudleys.
Okay. But in the ballpark with Bubba Dudley. What? IRS?
Oh, man, you left that ballpark and went home. You're at home drinking coffee now and shit.
Hint?
Your hint being, this might give it away, but I'm going to try it anyway. The color orange.
Orange.
Color orange.
Glasses. Taz?
There you go, Taz. Dojo, because he ran the ECW dojo when they had it. Towel, because he wore the towel on his head. Glasses, he always wears glasses on commentary. And orange, he had orange in his gear a lot.
Okay, 3 words. Bull.
Bo?
Train wreck. Bull. B-U-L-L.
Oh, B-U-L-L.
So, bull.
Okay. John
Train
Cena.
wreck. Damn it. 3rd word was rounds. He played Ferdinand the Bull. He was in train wreck. He was in 12 rounds.
All right, your next 3. 3 words are cousin, round, hero.
Jimmy Uso.
No.
Jey Uso.
No.
Rikishi.
No.
Umaga.
No.
Jacob Fatu.
No.
Samu.
Not that race.
Damn it.
Cousin, round, hero.
Hero, round, cousin. Angel Garza?
No. What?
Humberto Carrillo.
No.
Primo Colon.
No.
Epico Colon.
No.
Carlito.
No. Why'd you go from like Samoans to Puerto Ricans all of a sudden?
I don't know, because you're ruling out all the cousins. You got to rule out the big bloodlines first before you get to the Bret Hart.
No.
Owen Hart.
No. They're brothers!
Fuck. Cousin.
Cousin. Round. Hero.
Hero. Cesaro?
No. I see where you're going with that one, but I don't know how cousin
Hint?
fits in this. Your hint being, blonde bimbo.
Blonde bimbo. Yokozuna.
What?
Smith. No. Dustin Rhodes.
No.
Shit. Fuck. I don't know, man.
You are not even close to the ballpark. You are high at the house on heroin.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Molly Holly.
Oh.
Holly cousin. Molly Go Round was her finisher. Hero, Mighty Molly, and blonde bimbo Steve Austin when he was talking to Steve Austin. Take a little blonde bimbo girlfriend here and sign this paper. What'd you say to her? What'd you say? You know.
Okay, so next 3 words. Town. Town. Money.
Money.
Way.
I doubt it, but Johnny Gargano.
Nope.
Okay. Town Money Way. Town Money Way. Town Money Way. Town Money Way? That method doesn't work.
You were somewhat close with Gargano.
Tommaso Ciampa?
No.
Indy Hartwell?
No.
Dexter Loomis?
No.
Candice LeRae?
No.
Oh, god damn it. Theory.
Yeah, A-Town down, Money in the Bank, The Way.
Yeah, it took me a second there. Let's go with. Okay, I think this one's too obvious, but okay. Your 3 words are invasion, James. Wait a minute. I don't remember what this 3rd word, how it connects to him. Okay, forget that one. It was Nick Aldis. I couldn't remember why the 3rd word connected to him. The 3rd word was Maine, M-A-I-N, but I don't remember. Oh,
Main Event Mafia.
Fuck me. Yeah, that's why it was. All right. All right, let me try a different one. Okay, this one. 3 words are ass, Pittsburgh, Dean.
Shane Douglas.
Yeah, fuck. I thought that was too easy. All right.
Okay, so
Ass for the you can all kiss my ass. And he's from Pittsburgh, and of course, Dean Douglas.
okay, so the last 3 words for me: full, F-U-L-L.
Okay.
Killer, mask.
Full killer mask. Ooh. Is it Karrion Kross?
Nope.
Okay. I was saying mask, the gladiator mask, killer
Yeah.
cross. I don't know how full fit in, but full killer mask. Tommaso Ciampa.
Nope.
Is it Ciampa?
No.
I doubt it, but Nick Gage?
No.
Full killer mask. Full. Why do I think that has something to do with Full Metal Mayhem?
No.
No, don't. Okay. I was thinking people who can be in Full Metal Mayhem. I don't know why. Killer mask. I don't. Hint.
Italian.
What was it?
Italian.
Natalia?
Italian.
Oh, Italian. Okay. Okay. Oh, no, wouldn't be Guido. Okay. Oh, Johnny Stamboli.
There you go. The full-blooded Italians. Killer spelled backwards was Relic, his gimmick in TNA where he wore a mask.
Yep. Oh, good old Relic. I like that gimmick. I don't know why people hated it. Fun fact, it was originally called Red Drum, but Impact thought it was too graphic. All right, now we're going to get into our review of one of the most infamous pay-per-views of all time.
Oh, no.
Heroes of Wrestling, but before we do that, we got to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, that being the great people over at HardToFindTV.com, where they have a great selection of, you guessed it, hard-to-find TV shows that are available on DVD and Blu-ray by request. And they have a great selection there. You can head on over there, and if you can't find what you're looking for, you can shoot them an email and say, hey, I'm looking for this show. They'll look it up for you, see if they can find it. They'll slap it on a Blu-ray or DVD for you for a reasonable price. Even throw some subtitles on there if you're hard of hearing or you're just one of those weird people that like to have the subtitles on when you watch TV. I don't know why. Although I'm like that with video games now. Like if it's a video game that has a story, I gotta have the subtitles on. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, so yeah, and if that price just isn't reasonable enough for you, head on over there. Use the checkout code ARTIST, ARTIST, at checkout and save yourself 15% on your purchase. Downside is you can only use Amazon Pay, but if you've ever used PayPal or credit cards and such like that before, all you got to do is get an Amazon account, put your credit card on there, boom. It's just like using your credit card just through Amazon. It works just as well. So head on over to hardtofindtv.com, use that checkout code, look for that favorite show you have, and if for some reason you look through all the thousands of titles they have and you can't find what you want, what I like to say is, if they don't have it, you don't need it. Hardtofindtv.com, use checkout code ARTIST, save yourself 15%. All right. Heroes of Wrestling was supposedly a one-off pay-per-view, but then later on they named the commissioner. We'll figure that out later. That ran in 1999. That was supposed to celebrate the heroes that are wrestling, the old-time wrestlers at the time. And it took place in St. Louis Bay, which hey, get used to hearing that fucking during this show. I can't tell you how many times they drilled that into my fucking head. Here is St. Louis Bay. I'm like, fuck, you got it. Jesus. This pay-per-view only did 29,000 pay-per-view buys.
I wonder why.
Even though it only did, even though it was heavily promoted. It's heavily promoted, but still, and they even had a pre-show as well. So that is all the fun facts I could come up with for this fucking show. I even looked on eBay because I was like, that'd be fun to get some. It came from eBay products here. Not a single fucking item from this show popped up.
Well, and Gordon Soley, the reason he wasn't there is because
I forgot about that. Yeah,
he just started beginning treatment for stomach cancer, which he succumbed to within 9 months of the event.
It was actually throat cancer.
Throat cancer.
Yeah. All right, so let's get now. The first thing I want to point out here: Dutch Mantel and Randy Rosenberg, apparently, who was replacing Gordon Soley, who apparently didn't have a lot of knowledge of wrestling. So I'm not going to hold that against him too much. I did make a couple notes here about that, but but they run down the card at the beginning of the show, and each match, except for the main event, has a special name. And I want you to know if you can tell a theme here, okay? So other than the main event, I'm going to read the title of each match, okay? First match of the night, Tag Team Grudge Match. Second match, Beauty and the Beast Grudge Match. Third match, Special Grudge Match.
Grudge match.
Fourth match, Tag Team Grudge Match. The second one. Fifth one, they really thought outside the box for this one. The Midnight Express versus Horseman Grudge Match. The next one was No Mercy Grudge Match. Which, oh my God, I have some shit to say about that. And then the ultimate grudge match. And then finally, the special grudge match 2. Every match was a fucking grudge match except for the main event. The main event was, even though they didn't mention it in the beginning, it was eventually titled, excuse me, it was eventually titled the 1,000-Pound War. Which I thought was pretty clever. Yeah, although we didn't get to see it, kind of. But
well,
all right. So let's get into our tag team grudge match. The first one here, which was the Samoan SWAT team of the former Samu and some other guy. They never said his name.
They called him Fatu.
Did they really call him Fatu? It wasn't Fatu, though.
No, it wasn't Rikishi.
Yeah, it wasn't Rikishi. Taking on
Maybe
fantastic.
Umaga?
Yeah, it wasn't Umaga. I saw the name on the fucking Wikipedia earlier. It was neither one of them. But, like, they never name them on the show. Yeah. And they're taking on fantastic Tommy Rogers and the Rocker, Marty Jannetty. And first thing, other than the fucking 15 grudge matches they listed, first thing they do is the ring announcer, who I have nothing against the ring announcer. I thought he did a fine job for this shit show. But he was like, all right, the first team coming to the ring from the Isle of Samoa, or wherever the fuck you said it was from, whatever.
So Fatu was the Tonga kid.
Tonga kid, thank you. He was like, from wherever, weighing this much, it's the Samoan SWAT team. And as he's announcing him, they're showing the pictures for Tommy Rogers and the Rocker, Marty Jannetty.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh boy, we're off to a good start. I will say, nice promo from like the manager of the Samoan SWAT team. I thought that was a pretty good promo. I forgot the guy's name, but I thought it was a pretty good promo. You know,
Paul Adams, and that was mostly me being like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, I thought it was good though. I didn't know who it was, but I thought it was a good promo. I was like, okay, yeah, maybe this show is gonna be like a hidden gem. You know, maybe this show is aged like a fine wine. You know, boy, was I fucking wrong. Then I wrote down a lot of clapping. It was just Marty Jannetty just fucking clapping with people. I was just like, can somebody do something? I think the SWAT team was getting good heat. They were getting some good heat though. You know, getting all the good tag team heat. I was liking that. This shows the inexperience of the color commentator Randy Rosenberg because he called a drop kick a flying leg kick. Which I mean,
fuck.
In theory, he's not wrong, but still, it just sounds wrong. Nice dive to the outside by Marty Jannetty, and if this tells you anything, I think this wasn't this my match of the night. This was this was almost my match of the night. I gave it 2.5 stars.
See, commentary and Paul Adams' promo were the best part of this match. It was clunky.
Wait a minute, who's promo?
Paul Adams.
Oh, Paul Adams. Oh. No, somebody else had the best promo tonight. I'll get to that one later.
Well, it was that was part of this match, though.
Oh,
okay. Dutch Mantel was nice on commentary. The fucking card announcements and shit in the announcements of the match. Here's your picture. That was all fucked. I could only give this a 1.5. Mm-hmm. It just was clunky. Even when there was a back and forth, something just seemed fucked.
Yeah, I see your point there. I just it was mainly the Samoan SWAT team doing all the work, in my opinion. I mean, Jannetty did okay. Tommy Rogers didn't really do anything for me, you know. But like I said, I thought the Samoan SWAT team was getting some good heat. They were doing the cutoffs and the stealing the attention of the refs so they could get some heat and everything like that. I thought that was pretty good. Yeah. That's why I was like, I'm going to give it a 2.5. That's why I was sitting there. I was like, okay, maybe this is aged pretty well. Maybe after almost 20 years, this might be a good watch. Oh boy, I was wrong. And boy, I was wrong because next up is the Beauty and the Beast grudge match.
Fuck.
Jesus Christ. And that is Greg the Hammer Valentine as the Beauty, which, listen, I love Greg Valentine, and that if you see that motherfucker today, that motherfucker found a youth, and he ain't telling nobody because that motherfucker looks the same now as he did in like '84. Okay. But Beauty, taking on George the Animal Steel with Sensuous.
Oh, no.
You can't call her sister or sensational because of copyright, but Sensuous, Sherry Martel. And we see previously that apparently Sherry fucked George Steele the night before, which, okay. Then, like, I was so confused by it. I thought, okay, listen, spoiler alert, Sherry turns on Animal. But here's the problem with this. Here's the problem I had with this, is that I knew the turn was coming. Again, same joke. Ray Charles could see it coming. Okay? But I thought it was going to come at the end of the match, where it was going to be important. So, like, I'm watching this, and, like, the first thing I write down is, like, what the fuck is going on with Sherry?
Yep.
And then I just wrote, oh, okay. And then I'm like, the ref didn't see that fucking chair shot?
Well, and the shirt over the head, like, how did you let that go on for so fucking long?
That I can, like, wrap my head around a ref doing, considering some other shit, but, like, the ref might as well have just, like, fucking took a picture of that goddamn chair shot.
Yep.
He could have sketched it of how long he was looking at it. Just for the fact that there was actually a little bit of some work in there, and God bless Sherry Martel. You gotta love Sherry Martel. And Greg Valentine. Yeah, and Greg Valentine, fucking love him. I gave it 1.5 stars. And at this point is when I was watching it, and I'm just like, this match really drug on, man. I was like, where am I at in this show, man? I've been watching this for like 3 hours, and that's when I realized I was on match 2.
The show itself isn't even 3 hours long.
I know, exactly,
That's
but
how,
it felt like it.
painstaking this is. Like, I knew Sherry was going to turn, but then it happened during the match, and I'm like, okay, but what the fuck is going on?
And then she was, like, acting like she was still with him, and then going against him, and I'm like...
I wrote down 2 stars, but I have to downgrade it to 1.5. Like, it just was all over the place for one simple payoff, and that Sherry turning on George Steele. Like, and also it made me sad to watch George Steele, even though knowing, like, this was 1999. It's just like, holy fuck, dude. How much money did you possibly need at that point that you agreed to do this fucking horse shit?
I will say one positive and one negative about this match. The positive being that, like, I did like when Greg Valentine was past that weapon, and whenever the ref kept looking like, hey, where's that weapon at? And it was, like, tucked in his ass, you know? Yeah. I thought that was clever. I was like, okay, that's pretty clever. And the one negative, though, is that Valentine gave a promo before the match. And, I mean, it was a promo. I'm like, fuck, whatever. But he was just like, yeah, I'm going to put the figure 4 on you, and I'm going to send you home tonight, buddy boy. Not one time did he ever even attempt a fucking figure 4. You know? All right, next up here is, I believe, the special grudge match. 2 Cold Scorpio taking on Julio Fantastico, which I don't even... If before this match, if you would have lined up 10 wrestlers in front of me and told me to pick out Julio Fantastico, I probably couldn't do it.
Julio Fantastico was also Julio De Niro.
Oh, was he? Oh, okay,
yeah.
I still probably couldn't do it.
Because I had to look it up. I'm like, who the fuck is Julio Fantastico? And I looked it up. I'm like, oh, Julio De Niro. Yeah, who the fuck is that?
I probably still couldn't do it. You know, I've been watching wrestling for like 30 years. Yeah. Nice springboard drop kick by Julio, followed by the dive. He did that like nice springboard, then ran off the ropes and dive. I thought that was pretty cool. 2 Cold Scorpio did this. It was really unique. You know, Kofi Kingston does the Trouble in Paradise. You know, 2 Cold Scorpio did like a running version of it. Like he ran off the ropes and did like a running Trouble in Paradise, like towards the end. I was just like, wow, okay, that was pretty fucking cool. You know, and then the flipping leg drop, which I'm like, that's shit like you only see in video games. Very rare you see something like that. Even though 2 Cold Scorpio missed the finish. I mean, he missed this shit by like fucking mile.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, God. He went for a top rope flipping leg drop this time, which in theory would have looked really fucking sweet had he hit it. Would have looked badass had he hit it. Too bad he just missed it by like fucking, 50 feet, and then on top of that, Julio still sold it, and B, they still went with that finish. Even with all that, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but this was match of the night.
Yep.
With 2 3/4 stars.
I give it 2 stars at match of the night. Like, this was just... I was like, if this is match of the night, we're in for fucking...
Oh, yeah. That's what I was like. I was like, if this is the best match so far, I'm just like, we're in trouble.
I was confused, though, too. I have to bring this up. Why in the fuck was Too Cold Scorpio carrying Big Gold? He never had that belt. He never even came close to that belt.
I think from what I've read, if I remember from Brian Zane wrestling with the Grad, apparently it was some Indie Feds title that he had.
That was the fucking World Heavyweight Championship.
I'm just telling you what it is. Apparently some Indie Fed had it, and that was their world title.
Yeah. Okay.
If I'm remembering correctly, I could be wrong.
It just that just struck me as like, what the fuck is this? And then I did my research on Julio Fantastico and realized it was Julio De Niro, and I'm like, oh yeah. Wait, and he did what?
But it only goes downhill. Well, it kind of goes downhill, then it kind of go up again, then it fucking goes down real bad.
Oh, fuck.
Because the next matchup is the Men Down Under, aka the Bushwhackers. Taking on Shaky Baby and Nikolai Volkov, and I believe it was either this match or the match before it is where we find out Lou Albano is going to be the commissioner of fucking Heroes of Wrestling for a one-off fucking show, which I'm like, they say at the beginning of the fucking night, this is a one-off show, but now we have a commissioner. So I'm like, what is it? Is it going to be a one-off show or a running thing?
Yeah.
It didn't matter anyway, because this is the only one that ever...
It was just before this match that they said Albano was the new commissioner, and then fucking Randy Rosenbloom called Yokozuna Yokozuno.
Well, I mean, it's better than flying leg kick, in my opinion.
Or Iron Curtain.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I heard that when I was hearing the show, and I was just like, did he call him Iron Curtain, or did he call the move Iron Curtain?
No, he called him Iron Curtain almost the whole match, and Dutch Mantel was just like, no, that...
Was that the match where he was just like, I know there was one match where he was just like, okay, Randy's kind of new at this, so we're kind of giving him some slack and everything. But then there was one match he was like, it was kind of nice at first, but now you're really making me mad.
I think that was this match where it was like,
was it? Okay.
Making me mad, yeah.
I love that the crowd was chanting USA with 2 New Zealanders, an Iranian and a Russian.
Oh, yeah.
That was great. Although, fun fact, I was reading the other day, or at least last week, I think, it was like top 10 people who played Russians and did it well, who weren't really Russian. I was like, all right, let me read this. Nikolai Volkov? I always thought he was really Russian.
No, he was French, I think.
Something. I always thought he was really Russian. He played that part so well.
Yeah.
Not really Russian. I'll be damned.
Well, the Russian national anthem bit got me once again, too, at the beginning.
Yeah. The only thing I wrote down for this was that chanting thing, and I wrote down, I get why people hate this show. This match dragged on, and there was a fast count at the end. 1 star.
Well, see, and to me, this match didn't even seem really like a match because Iron Sheik spent the whole time yelling at everybody. Of course, he got the mention about how Hulk Hogan and Bob Backlund...
I was like, he's still mad about that Hogan thing like 15 years later?
He got the "Hot" in I don't know how many times. If you chant USA, I walk out, and then he didn't...
I really thought they were leaving. I was like, I don't remember this. Did they fucking leave? Because they started walking out. I was like, oh my God, are they really fucking leaving?
Yeah, I gave this 0.5 of a star. It got to the point where with Randy Rosenbloom keeps saying Iron Curtain, Iron Sheik's yelling at everybody. Iron Sheik doesn't leave even though he says he's going to. They were chanting USA even though the opposing team that they were supposed to be in favor of was from New Zealand. I gave this 0.5 of a star. Like, this was just shit.
Apparently, it was either Dave Meltzer or who's the other guy that's big in wrestling reporting? I forgot his name at the moment.
Alvarez?
Yeah, Alvarez. I think it was Chris Alvarez. He gave it negative all the stars imaginable in the universe.
It was just shit. Like, Irish Sheik was just like, fuck the Hulk Hogan and Bob Backlund and the jabronis. If you chant USA, I leave, I don't care.
And then they started walking up the aisle, and I was like, is that really how this match is going to end? I was like, holy shit, I don't remember this. Because, like, this is the first time I've ever sat and watched this whole show. I think I've seen the main event before. If I do, I don't remember. And I've, of course, seen that fucking promo. We all know the one, But I was like, I don't think I've ever sat and watched the whole show. So that's why I was like, let's review it for the podcast. It's been a while since we've done something retro, So, and God, I really regret this.
Yeah.
This is not enjoyable. Like, wow.
I will say, wow, well, not my normal cup of tea. I much more enjoyed that and would have watched that 3 more times if it meant I didn't have to watch this abomination of a pay-per-view.
And oh God, I forgot to mention it earlier, but you mentioned that Rosenberg called Yokozuna Yokozuno. There was a promo from King Kong Bundy earlier where he called Yokozuna Porkozuna, and I thought that was great.
Oh yeah, the start of the pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, Porkozuna. Yeah. I was like, that's genius. But speaking of promos, we get a flashback of something earlier that day, where Stan Lane attacks Tully Blanchard, tries to shove him in the trunk of a car to, I guess, kidnap him. I don't know. Tully Blanchard gives a
broad daylight
promo. Yeah, in broad daylight. Yeah, but the promo that Tully Blanchard gives afterwards is just fucking. I mean, the promo itself gets 5 fucking stars.
Yeah.
Dude, go watch the Tully Blanchard promo. Oh my God, that was probably the best thing on this fucking show.
You feel bad for Tully Blanchard once you've watched what comes.
Like, I'm watching this promo and I'm just like, holy fuck, man, he's treating this like this is the main event of WrestleMania, man. Yeah. Like, fuck, man, he's in this to win it, man. That was probably the best thing on the fucking show was this goddamn promo. But then we get the match, Stan Lane versus Tully Blanchard. This is when I had to stop taking notes. I couldn't take any more fucking notes right now. I took notes for the next match, and then that was it. I didn't take any more fucking notes. All I wrote down for Stan Lane and Tully Blanchard was confusing finish. 2 stars. I gave it 2 stars because they actually tried. They went out there and tried to put on a fucking wrestling match, from, like, their time. I mean, yeah, this is only, like, 15 years after, like, quote-unquote their time. So, like, the wrestling game, so to speak, hadn't changed that much yet. So they're putting on a match from their time. They're actually trying, so that's why I have to give it 2. Plus the promo was just fantastic. But the finish was really, when the commentators have to explain to the home audience what the fuck the finish was, there's a problem.
See, like, I only gave this 1.5.
They had to blatantly explain to the home audience, the color commentators, what happened because we couldn't.
I still didn't fucking understand it when Dutch Mantel and fucking Rosenbluth were explaining it. I was like, okay, this has started off okay. Like, it's clear they're actually trying, and then it just fucking went to hell in handbasket.
Apparently, it was a finish like Bret Hart and Roddy Piper at WrestleMania 8, where both their shoulders down, and Tully Blanchard got the shoulder up before the 3 count.
I will say, too, and I didn't know this, but it's just one thing that stuck out. I kept fucking being like, why does Tully look so much like fucking Larry Zbyszko?
Yeah, I can see that.
I was like, the fuck, like, it's Tully Blanchard, not Larry Zbyszko. Yeah, I kept getting fucked up by that. Maybe, that might just be me, but, like, fuck. Like,
I can see why you would think that, though.
But overall, though, like, the way they built it up in Tully's promo and fucking Stan Lane at the beginning being like, I'm a commentator for the WWF. Da, 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 da. I'm like, man, this could be pretty good. And then it ends, and I'm like, what the fuck was that?
I don't remember when Stan Lane was a commentator for WWF.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Must have been a blink and you miss it type deal because, maybe. I just don't. I don't know, but yeah, 1.5 simply because I didn't get I had the fuck clue what went on leading up to the finish. It's all of a sudden done. And they're like, hey, Tully Blanchard. I'm like, but what?
Yeah. Yeah, like I saw a 3 count. They're like, "Oh, is that it?" And I was like, even I was like, "What the fuck happened?" And then they're just, I think it was Dutch. Yeah, I think you're right. It was Dutch, and he was like, "Oh, both of their shoulders are down," and Tully got his shoulder up before the 3 count. And I was just like, "You literally had to sit there and explain that to me."
Yeah.
You know. So, all right, and coming up next, oh my God, Jesus Christ,
Oh,
the
fuck.
One Man Gang, which I have no quarrels with whatsoever, taking on Abdullah the Butcher, which we all know how much I love him. Every time Abdullah tries to wrestle, God kills a kitten, is what I wrote down.
One Man Gang can hardly move, and I felt bad that he even had to walk out for this abomination of a wrestling match. Abdullah the Butcher looked like he just got finished at the buffet at fucking the Golden Corral.
He always looks like that.
Well, but still, like, this was just horrendous. There was no need for this. There was no need for the blood. Neither of them could move. Like, I mean, one of them was moving at the... fuck this match. Zero. There was no need for the blood. There was no need for the... It went on way too long. It wasn't even that long to begin with.
You know, One Man Gang is beating the shit out of Abdullah the Butcher with a chain, which, needless to say, I was enjoying that quite a bit. But I'm pretty sure it was Rosenberg, Randy there, or Double R. He was like, that chair shouldn't be in there. I'm just like, do you not understand what's going on here? This is the No Mercy grudge match. But then I guess Rosenberg was right, because Abdullah and One Man Gang start fighting outside, then all of a sudden it's a DQ.
We just all... No, fuck this match.
I was about to downgrade this to a 1. I have it as a 2. I was about to downgrade it to a 1.
-5 stars.
I'm going to leave it as
0.5. -5.
I'm going to leave it as a 2, only because I enjoyed seeing Abdullah the Butcher get the shit beat out of him with a chain. So that was kind of like pleasant to see. Anytime I get to see Abdullah the Butcher just get the shit beat out of him, it's always a good day for me, you know, because I cannot stand that fucking tubby fuck, you know. But
no talent.
I didn't get it. It's the No Mercy grudge match, which, to be fair, they didn't say the rules of the match to us, which I can give them that. But you can't have them beat the shit out of each other with a chain and a chair for fucking however long this match was, longer than possibly should have been. And they're not even the longest matches on the card, isn't it? Those are the next 2 matches that are the longest on the fucking card.
Next 2 matches. Oh yeah, I suppose 2 matches. Yeah.
Yeah. Orton and Snuka in the main event. Yeah. But then all of a sudden they fight outside. Then all of a sudden it's a DQ. I mean, why not reverse that? Why not just have them fight outside for fucking however long you want their time to be, and then like maybe then fucking One Man Gang brings in a chain and hits them, then DQ them.
That would have been better, but no.
We just had to have at least would have made more sense
and a DQ in a No Mercy fucking match.
Well,
you used counter shit, and they're both fucking bleeding, and then suddenly it's a DQ.
But again, they never said like they never said these are the rules of the No Mercy match. Which, okay, fine, but you can't have them beat each other with a chain and a chair in the ring, and then when they go outside, okay, DQ. Like, no. At least like reverse that. You know?
Fuck. -5 stars. Fuck this match. Fuck both the competitors. When Akeem the African Dream, like, when I would rather have watched that bullshit than this, no.
Coming up next is the last special grudge match, which this was just fucking brutal to get through. But Cowboy Bob Orton taking on Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and like, oh god, if you thought Jimmy Superfly Snuka at WrestleMania 25 was bad, oh boy.
It's like Lou Albano was gonna have a brain aneurysm.
I was gonna have a brain aneurysm because this just went on.
Clearly just there for a payday. Jimmy Snuka's just like, I killed my wife in '83 and people still don't know.
I wonder if he just went around saying that, and they're just like, "Okay, Jimmy, it's okay."
Okay, right. Jimmy, no. We talked to Carlos. It's okay.
Tamina's just like, "Would you stop telling people that?"
But I did.
Well, this was just this is when I was just like, this goddamn pay-per-view. It's just too goddamn long at this point. This is when like the length of this pay-per-view was really hitting me, was on this match. You know, I'm just like, these two were doing nothing fucking out of the ordinary that like I really cared about. I get it, they were aging at the time, but like I was just like, I'm so done with these two. I'm
Yeah.
being very generous with this 1-star rating.
I gave it 1.5 because at least they tried, but holy fuck. Oh, fuck, man. Oh,
Okay.
we have some breaking news.
Oh, what's that?
All WWE employees have been banned from trading company stock. All employees were notified that they were not allowed to buy or sell any of the company's stock. The message was sent by Senior Vice President and General Counsel James Langham. Please be advised, in light of recent developments, the company's trading window has closed, effective immediately for all employees. The notice begins going on to detail the prohibition of any purchases or sales of company securities. The notice also mentions that WWE employees are not to speak with anyone about the notification. Oh, fuck.
Interesting.
How about
that? So next up.
Speaking of interesting, the way they ended this fucking pay-per-view.
No, wait. You got to talk about the promo first. Next up, we have Next up, we have the infamous promo of Jake Roberts, where don't play cards with me. Don't play cards with me, man. I cheat. I cheat, man. You want to play blackjack? You got 21. I got 22. You got blackjack? I got 2 of those too. Okay. But yeah, apparently drunk off his ass. Tells the cameraman to get his ass back up here when he's showing the snake in the bag, and then he's gonna go out for the match with Jim the Anvil Neidhart, which I'm just, some of these matches make a little bit of sense, like Bushwhackers and, well, no, that one didn't make any sense either, but like Orton and Snuka, like, okay, those are the two that weren't. Those two weren't involved in the WrestleMania 1 main event. Okay, fine. I don't think they played into that, but they could have.
Tully
okay,
and Stan
fine.
Lane kind of made sense too, the way they built
the Horseman
versus the Horseman. Like, I got it.
Exactly, but I'm just like, I mean, did they just fucking run out of ideas at this point? Like, all right, we have Jake.
I don't think we were clamoring for Jake versus Anvil.
Yeah. I mean, not that I have anything against either one. Of course, Jake is like the all-time great, but like Jim Anvil, I have nothing against. But I'm just like, if I'm booking a show and I have Jim Anvil Neidhart and Jake Roberts on, I don't think I would ever pair those two.
No.
I'd put them in a tag team before fucking, but apparently the match isn't going as planned because usually Jake can usually perform when he's a little drunk or a little high.
Oh boy.
In this case, he's drunk. So you know what? Let me pull up the information on this because there is a story on this.
Well, like Jake first, he brought the snake out. Then he went backstage, took his shirt off, came back. Then he had the chick at ringside rub. He forced her to rub his chest.
Yeah, that I saw. Yeah.
And then it was, he got in the ring. Oh fuck! There was so much of it.
Apparently they just realized that Jake is not in it. So in an effort to salvage the match, promoter Bill Stone decided on the fly to combine the main events into one tag team event and sent Bundy to team with Neidhart, who was scheduled to take on King Kong Bundy was scheduled to take on Yokozuna in the 1,000-pound war. But he sent Bundy out there to team with Neidhart to take on Yokozuna and Roberts. Stone then sent a member of the production crew, Michael Henry, who was referred to on the commentary as Little Bundy.
That was the Bundy. Yeah. Little Bundy.
To ringside to consult with the wrestlers. Bundy pinned Roberts after hitting him with a splash after Roberts had staggered and fallen around the ring several times. Despite Roberts not being the legal man, which, yeah, that bothered me.
Yeah.
Yokozuna and Henry attempted to savage the event and send the fans home happy and Roberts' reputation by trying to goad Roberts into giving a DDT to Henry, making his behavior appear scripted. Yeah, okay. Roberts was too drunk to realize what was happening and remained oblivious to Yokozuna and Henry's attacks. Yokozuna then hit a Samoan drop on Henry to make the entire series of events appear scripted. While Yokozuna attacked Henry, Roberts began to disrobe in the middle of the ring, and the ring producers cut the feed immediately thereafter, right before shoving the snake down Little Bundy's pants.
Oh boy, that's why it ended so abruptly.
If I didn't feel sad watching George the Animal Steel struggle his way to the ring and just go through his greatest hits 15 years too late, I definitely struggled to watch that. This was just sad to see how big Yokozuna was, to see the fall from grace of King Kong Bundy. Fucking Jim Neidhart looks like a bitch compared to the rest, and that's saying a lot. Jake is done.
Well, considering how Jim Neidhart would look in his match against Jay Lethal like 10 years later, I think he looked pretty good here.
That's true, but still, like, it just, it was one of those things where it's so bad, but I can't turn away.
You know the ironic thing about this is, I really want you to think about this before I say it. You know the really ironic thing about that is, out of all four of those men, Jake is the only one still alive.
The one that's alive. Yeah. No, I know. And it's like, how did that happen? Like, I mean, even like Yokozuna's struggling to walk, and it's like, oh man, like, how?
He was 650 pounds at that time.
Yeah, and that wasn't even the heaviest he was at. Like, he died heavier than that.
Well, people were sneaking him chicken, so you know.
Oh, obviously, and feeding him from the concession stand. Like, fuck. Like, holy fuck, man! Look at the size of the guy.
Have you ever heard that story on Icons?
If Tommy Rogers was the size of Samu's leg, then fucking King Kong Bundy was the size of Yokozuna's leg. Like, holy fuck.
There's a story on WWE's Icons about Yokozuna when, like, WWE said, hey, you have to lose some fucking weight. So they sent him to, like, a rehab place to lose weight, and they checked on him. They're like, okay, let's weigh it. Let's see what happened. And he gained weight. And they're like, what the fuck, man? How? Apparently, he was paying somebody to bring him buckets of chicken to the rehab place.
Oh, my fuck.
Yeah.
You got checked into rehab because you're too fucking fat. And then you're like, bring me some chicken.
Yeah.
Please.
Please, I need chicken. So overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do we give Heroes of Wrestling from 1999?
No. 2.
I was a little bit more generous. I gave it 2.5.
I watched this in stages. I started this yesterday. I got 2 matches in and was like, oh no. I took a break that ended up with me going to bed. I started doing the dishes this morning while watching like the 3rd match, and I was like, dishes are more interesting. Next thing I know, I look up and the match is over, and I'm like, what? And then I just, it was all I could do to keep going, but I kept going. I mean, I guess I watched it. At least they didn't do another one. And then only 29,000 people wasted their money.
Yeah.
Well, on pay-per-view anyway, that doesn't count.
Wait a minute, let me see something here. Let me see if they have the pay-per-view buys for WoW Unleashed? Let me see if they have that.
Surely it was more than that.
I don't know. Let's see. WoW Unleashed.
They had Bobby the Brain Heenan on that shit. Surely it was more than that.
I don't think they promoted that though. Attend. No, they don't have the pay-per-view buys. Shit.
Damn.
I'm looking here to make sure. 13 matches. Yep, doesn't look like they have a pay-per-view eye here. Let me just do a search, make sure. Okay, WoW Unleashed, because I want to see if it beat this. WoW Unleashed pay-per-view buys.
I mean, WoW Unleashed I thought was bad, but it wasn't this bad.
Wow, really? Oh, wait. 10 things you should know about women. Oh, no, that's from this year. I was like, oh, wow, 10 things you should know about women in wrestling. Oh, that might be there. No, it's not. It's from this year. Yeah, I can't find any. Oh, wait. I think I found it. Hold on. I think I found it. 9,500. Oh, wait. Okay, here we go. Ooh, boy. Ooh. If you had to guess how many buys WoW Unleashed had, what would you guess?
Since it's obviously worse, 16,000.
What if I told you 6,000?
Oh no. Really?
9,500 people were in attendance, with just 6,000 homes watching on pay-per-view. That is not a misprint. More people were in the building from the show than home viewers.
Wow.
Wow. I was with you too. I was like, maybe WoW Unleashed did more. And this came out, I think, after fucking Heroes of Wrestling.
Yeah, Heroes of Wrestling was 99. WoW Unleashed was like 2001, 2002. Yeah, that's depressing. Oh no.
Yep.
WoW Unleashed
4th,
wasn't
February 4th.
Compared to Heroes of Wrestling, it wasn't that bad.
Oh yeah, WoW Unleashed was like fucking the WrestleMania 17 of fucking
shitty pay-per-views.
Yeah.
And fuck, ECW December to Dismember was better than fucking Heroes of Wrestling.
Oh yeah, I'll give you that. And like I thought maybe too, I was just like, okay, maybe some years have passed, maybe there's gonna be a couple hidden gems on here, and
no,
the only hidden gem I found was that Tully Blanchard fucking promo.
Yeah.
You know, and
even even though I gave,
even though I gave Julio and Too Cold 2 3/4 stars, that still doesn't mean shit.
No,
you know, it was still hard to sit through.
And the fucking the video quality was so awful. It looked like they filmed it on fucking a home video like tape like one of those fucking like basic VHS recorders.
Well,
you're still watching like.
It was recorded in '99, so like I didn't really judge the video quality
because
like
I was 86.
Like, if it was 86, man, it'd fucking be a good show probably.
Yeah, it should have been like I mean, it by no right of like when you look at the card and it's like okay, this could be pretty good, and then you watch the show and it's like what the fuck, like. I get they're all aging and stuff, but holy fuck, the audio issues, the fucking Rose and Blue with the Iron Curtain and Yokozuna and fucking all this other shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Just let Dutch Mantel commentate the whole fucking thing.
Well, at least Yokozuna is like a one-letter difference. At least Iron Curtain is like a whole fucking different thing, man.
The entirely different thing. Iron Curtain was fucking fuck. At least it's over. At least we've got through it. We're giving our shitty ratings. We don't have to watch it again.
Yeah, we do. We gotta watch it when Shelby comes back.
Fuck you, Shelby, for not having to sit. You know what? Since you didn't fucking make it for every episode, you have to fucking watch it as a penalty. Fuck you. Better watch this shit.
Yeah, we gotta watch it again so Shelby can, review it. What are you talking about?
we'll attempt to revise our review and see if it gets any better or any worse.
See, I suggested that with WoW Women Unleashed, and you said no.
Hey, if we put these two against each other, wow, like, they mean, fuck, Women Unleashed looks like the fucking, like you said, the WrestleMania 17 shitty pay-per-views. Like, holy fuck, this was, at least WoW Unleashed had a fucking, like, a satisfying finish to the pay-per-view. This was just, here's fucking shenanigans in the ring, we fade to black. There's no goodbye, there's no goodnight, no thank you for coming, no I'm Randy Rosen, fuck. Nothing. It's just fate, it's just done, there's no credits, nothing. And fucking, like, there's no, don't forget to visit heroesofwrestling.com to buy your shitty merchandise. I'm like, holy fuck.
See, that's why I thought there'd be merchandise on eBay, because I was like, okay, they pimped it out. There has to be something on eBay. No, not a goddamn thing has shown up. I guess it's just people not admitting that they own shit from this shit.
Yeah, why would you?
Yeah, I mean,
why would you ever admit that? Like, even if you had a ticket stub, like, why would you even be like, I was there? Like, really?
2,000 people was the attendance for that show.
The dude that was out winning the fucking slot machines had a better time at the casino that night than everybody that was in all those 2,000 people. Like, oh my fuck.
This show really
This is probably why Julio De Niro wasn't a bigger name across fucking wrestling. Because he did this fucking show. As he's getting started, it was just like, I'm going to have this match. And it's like, I wouldn't be so sure of that, jobber for life.
Oh, boy. All right, so that was Heroes of Wrestling, one of the most infamous pay-per-views to ever take place in wrestling. And now we're going to move on to, if he has one, a fact of the week. Nick usually provides.
I actually have two.
Oh, okay. He usually provides us with a little factoid here, and this week he has two of them. So what you got?
Okay, so the first one here, so since the year 2009, and it will continue through this year unless an Intercontinental Championship match gets added to the SummerSlam card. But since 2009, anytime there has been an Intercontinental Championship match at SummerSlam, either Dolph Ziggler or The Miz have been involved.
Oh, wow.
So that's our first one. And our second one, according to Matt Hardy in an interview he recently did, I forget who it was with, that doesn't matter, but upon seeing their t-shirts, Vince McMahon said he wanted every single member of the Bullet Club. This was when Kenny Omega was leader, and you had fucking Fale and Tonga and the Bucks and Cody and Paige and Cody Hall and everybody else. Vince saw the t-shirts and said, I want all of them, pal. Evidently, he only got, Adam Cole.
He got Adam Cole. He eventually got Luke and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson.
That's right. He got Gallows, Anderson, Styles, Balor. But the incarnation of the Bullet Club that he wanted Omega and the Bucks and fucking G.O.D. and everybody else. Yeah, I want them all, pal.
Omega and the Bucks are just like, nah, you ain't tricking us, pal.
Oh, because of the t-shirts. I want them all.
Maybe that's just what he meant. Maybe he just wanted all the t-shirts.
Go bring me some money, if you will.
Like, he told Bruce, like, I want them all. And he's just like, all right, we'll go. All right, sign all the members of the Bullet Club. And Vince is just waiting in his office, like, where's them fucking t-shirts?
Kenny Omega's just like, yeah, no.
Vince just wanted t-shirts the whole time. And he ended up getting like, why are you signing all these people? Because you said to.
Why did you bring back Festus? Who told you to bring back the fake king? You did, sir. When? You said, I want them all. That's
I wanted t-shirts.
I wanted t-shirts.
All right, and now we actually have a sports list of the week. We haven't done these in a while here. This is something we used to do them every week, and then, we kind of just threw it in as filler. But it's kind of Vince McMahon related. I'm going to add a word to this because I don't think this is a guarantee, but we'll see. The list is actually called 10 wrestlers who will be pushed more now that Vince McMahon is gone, but I'm going to call it 10 wrestlers who possibly will be pushed now that Vince McMahon is gone. We'll see here. Number 10 is Ricochet.
I could see it. At the same time, what else is there for him to do that he hasn't already done? Like, he's not getting to world title level. So what else is there?
I mean, he got up there for a second, and then they killed it real quick.
Brock Lesnar.
By the time Paul Heyman said Brock Lesnar,
fucking Gunther.
By the time Paul Heyman was done saying Brock Lesnar, his push was over.
Exactly.
Yeah. Number 9, Shinsuke Nakamura.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's a little bit too late for Shinsuke.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I think his age is going to be an issue. As much as I like Shinsuke, I think his age is going to be an issue. Yeah.
It's a little bit late for that.
Yeah. Number 8. God, I hope this one's true. Mustafa Ali.
Oh, please. Please, just, even if it's in NXT, just please.
I know. I like how they brought him back. They put him into a program, and we're like, okay, all is right in the world again. Mustafa Ali's back. Hasn't been seen since.
Main event Mustafa.
Yeah, main event Mustafa. Number 7, Butch, parenthesis, Pete Dunne.
Just let him be Pete Dunne again.
I know.
Let him take off the hat and start chewing on it and be like, I'm Pete Dunne, and beat the fuck out of Sheamus and Rich Holland and fucking like...
Like, or like if they just want to name change, Butch Dunne. You know, give us the best of both worlds here.
That's fine, but like, just not Butch anymore, please.
Like they go to call him,
like you guys, I'm just gonna beat everybody up.
Like Sheamus goes to talk to him one day, like, look here, Butch, and he's like, Butch Dunne. Okay, Butch Dunne. You know, there you go. Boom, problem solved.
That's fine.
This one I don't really see happening. Number 6. I don't know if you'll agree or disagree, but I don't see it happening. The Judgment Day.
No.
Really?
I don't see it happening simply because they've already done enough damage to this group. They would be better off dissolving it before it gets any worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's going the fucking path of retribution, and well, that just no.
And number 5 is one that I don't think it's too late as an age. I think it's too late as in they had a window to make this person big, and that window's gone. So if they try and all of a sudden just make this person big now that there's a new regime, I don't think it's going to work. And that person is Shayna Baszler.
I wondered if you were going to say Dominik Dijakovic, but it's the same instance. They've downgraded the, how do I want to put this? They have downgraded the marketability of Shayna Baszler as a credible threat enough that even if they tried, they can't build her back up at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's too late for her as an age. I think it's just too late as in, like, you know, they've done so much damage to her storyline wise that like, you know, when you're losing to people like God bless her, I love her, but when you're losing to people like Dana Brooke, it's kind of hard for me to take you seriously.
Well, it's like T-Bar or Dominik Dijakovic. You could change back to Dominik Dijakovic all you want. It's not gonna fucking help.
See, I think that could work though.
Without Keith Lee there anymore, it's not going to work.
Yeah, but I think the general audience, you know, because there are, I've seen them. I've seen them in the autograph community. There are people who are just like, fuck NXT. I don't watch it. And I'm like,
yeah,
okay. So there are a group of people out there who don't probably know that T-Bar is Dominik Dijakovic. So I think if you were to build up like Dijakovic is coming to SmackDown or whatever, fuck. I think you could get him over again. I don't think you necessarily need Keith Lee to fucking do it. It would probably help, but number 4. This is another one. I don't know. Roderick Strong. I'm torn on this one. I don't know.
I don't know about that either.
Yeah.
I'm really torn on that because to begin with, I don't think he needed to be with Undisputed Era, and that's why they didn't put him with them right away. And then Bobby Fish got hurt, so they put him with them, and he was fine. And then he was gone, and with Malcolm Bivens and Hachiman, and it was like, okay, this Diamond Mine thing, that's pretty good. And there goes Bivens, and there goes Hachiman, and there goes fucking Tyler Rust.
Yeah.
Taylor Rust, or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And now it's hard to say with Roderick Strong because it feels like there should be a place for him. But at the same time, it's like, okay, but if there is a place for him, where is it?
Yeah. Number 3. This person in no way has been mismanaged by WWE. With him, this is what it says on Sportster, by the way. I'm not revealing who it is yet, but this person has been in no way has been mismanaged by WWE, with him being a major star on whatever brand he has been on, with him doing so. Some of his finest work ever with the current character right now. Okay, this says done. Fuck it, it's Seth Rollins. I mean, how much more can you push him?
I have a hard time with the fact that this man has been with the company now for 10 years. Because of the amount of changes to his character and the amount of, it's Seth freaking Rollins, and then everybody hates on him again. It's, oh, hey, Seth freaking Rollins, he's a heel, and everybody loves him. But no, you're supposed to, it just has been such the stop-start booking and the switches according to bad booking. I feel like we should be holding Seth Rollins in a higher regard now than what we do. And what I mean by that is we shouldn't still look at him as a guy that should be in the main event. We should be looking at him as the main event. And we don't. He hasn't been consistently at the top of the card. He hasn't had a consistent character. Anytime they get on board with a consistent character, they change it because of a bogus booking decision. And depending on how they do this Riddle being out story, I don't know anymore.
Number 2, Ciampa.
They never should have taken Ciampa's first name away, first of all. Second of all, he looked more of a badass when he had the gray in his beard. And it's like, here's the old hand that is trying to prove he's not just an old good hand and he's going to whoop some ass. Now you have him flogging The Miz from a fucking YouTube guy. Like, okay, Logan Paul's had a match, but I don't buy him as a face. I don't buy that all of a sudden Ciampa would even be okay with teaming with The Miz, considering how he was built in even NXT 2.0 as the standard bearer of the black and gold. Like, I don't... you might as well give Ciampa a fucking wait, tell him to change his beard, and have him be the lawyer for fucking whoever at this point. Because it just...
Well, he's now being a lackey for Miz rather than a tag team partner.
But that's what I mean. He does not belong in a lackey role. Like Cedric Alexander didn't belong in a lackey role with the Hurt Business.
Yeah.
It's just a poor booking choice. And whether Triple H or not can remedy that, I don't know.
I
Like,
think
this is one of those reasons why Ciampa didn't want to go to the main roster before Triple H got demoted the first time.
I think they can save him. They just got to get him away from the Miz. Any guesses as to who number one could be?
Oh, fuck. It could be anybody at this point.
Kevin Owens.
That's accurate.
I mean,
everything he touches is gold, but just because you sprinkle glitter on a turd doesn't make it not a turd. It's just a glittery turd at that point.
Are you calling Kevin Owens a turd?
No, I'm saying the shit that he's been given to work with is a turd.
Ah, okay.
Like, next to Austin and putting over Austin the way he did, it's all been shit. I mean, kudos to him for sticking with it, but this is what you signed up for 5 more years for. You could have gotten twice that money for 2 times less of a time frame with Tony Khan, and instead, you're like, the money, pal.
Yeah, I guess we'll see here. All right, that was the Sports Alyssa of the week here. Normally we play, he said what, or name the event or something, but we are almost at our time limit here, so we will do our vintage picks of the week. But before we do our vintage picks of the week, we got to give a shout out to another one of our sponsors here. That being the great people over at MoviesRUSA.net. And much like our other sponsor, HardToFindTV.com, MoviesRUSA.net specializes in those hard-to-find TV shows and movies that are difficult to find on on physical media, that have never been released on physical media, hard to find on physical media, or not available on physical media anymore. They have wide variety of television shows and movies. I mean, you can get the complete Bob's Burgers seasons 1 through 10, Celebrity Deathmatch, Lucha Underground for the wrestling fans. Of course, if you're a wrestling fan, listen to this. Hey, there you go. Plus over 2,000 titles there. You get them all on Blu-ray, DVD by special request for movies only, not TV shows. And if you go over there and look at their prices and you're like, God damn, this is a great deal. Well, damn it, I have a better one for you. You go over there and use our checkout code, 3-way, the word, not the number, 3-way, you're going to save 50% on your purchase. That is 50. And with somebody's like, if you want that Bob's Burgers 1 through 10 that I told you about, it's $100 on the website, which, hey, even then, that's a great deal. But $50 if you use our checkout code, plus you spend over $50 on the website, you're going to get free shipping on top of all that. And even if you don't spend $50 to get the free shipping, shipping's only $5. I mean, damn, can't get much better than that, So head on over. Go ahead.
You could get the complete series of Bob's Burgers, plus probably the Bob's Burgers movie for cheaper than what it would cost you
to go to the
multiplex.
The Bob's Burgers movie is available on MoviesRUSA.net right now. So you can get the 1 through 10 season and the movie with the discount code. I think it would be $65.
That would be cheaper than taking your family of 5 to the multiplex to see the Bob Burgers movie.
There you go. So head on over to MoviesRUSA.net. Let them know the 3-Way Dance Wrestling Podcast and to use that checkout code 3-Way and save yourself 50% on your purchase, and look at all 2,000 titles because they got some good stuff. They got some obscure shit. Good stuff. They're not only a sponsor, I'm really a customer. Sometimes I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just going to buy this. Because, he sends me some stuff every now and then, but I'm like, sometimes I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to buy this shit now, All right, so what is your vintage pick of the week, which is usually, a show, a promo, or a match, something that we think you should seek out and watch?
So this one's kind of a twofer as well. We'll go back to the SmackDown right before Survivor Series 2001. Paul Heyman's shoot promo on Vince McMahon. Now, I also say, though, watch the Inside the Ropes video of Paul Heyman discussing this promo at I don't know if it was a convention interview or whatever it is. And he's talking about how Michael Hayes, like they were brainstorming this idea. Michael Hayes was, you want somebody to rip you an asshole this big? Talk to Paulie. And then so we're on the plane and like Heyman's just talking about how they're on the plane and Vince is eating fruit or something, and Vince comes up to him and says, you want to rip me an asshole this fucking big? And Vince and Heyman's just like, okay. And like he keeps asking him, like, are you sure you don't want me to, like, what do you want me to say?
Make me some money.
Bring me some money.
Yep.
Okay. And so he's like, and I kept asking him, like, you know, are you sure you don't want me to tell you what I'm going to say? Is it going to make me some money? Well, yes, it's going to bring me some money. And then right before I call out the curtain, I ask him again, Vince, are you sure you don't want me to tell you what I'm about to say? Is it going to bring me some money? Yes, it's going to bring me some goddamn money. And shit.
Make me some money.
Make me some money.
And since I had to watch a 3-hour shit show, I figured you guys out there, if you for some reason wanted to watch this 3-hour shit show, you deserve a reward after watching that 3-hour shit show. So I highly suggest, if you want to cleanse the palate of shit, Kenny Omega versus Okada 1. Great fucking match there.
There you go.
Yeah, check that one out there.
That will
Kenny Omega gets
indeed why you're a wrestling fan.
Yeah, I mean Kenny Omega gets a bad rep, but that is a fucking phenomenal match. So. All right, well, SummerSlam is this Saturday, so we will be back. Boy. Yeah, we will be back next week with that.
It's rated TV 14. Yeah.
I know, TV 14. Yeah. There it is. I couldn't find my fucking bell. There it is. We know what that sound means. That signifies the end of the Three-Way Dance Wrestling Podcast. So hopefully Shelby will be back, unless he's got another football game to go to or something. We'll be back to review SummerSlam, which should be about as equal to Heroes of Legends, I'm sure. Maybe just a smidge better. You know, who knows? Because looking at the card,
I don't
have
special guest referee, right? So,
I know, yeah. But looking at the card, I'm just like, I don't have a lot of hope for this. You know?
No. And now Riddle versus Rollins is off, and I'm like, I have even less hope for it.
But until next time, guys. For Nick, I'm VENMO TheArtistVersion1. Remember, be breezy.